Greetings and salutations, friend. What's in the box? Today's kind of a secret because this is an extremely rare pistol, rare company you don't even know exists, that has the best trigger, the lightest recoil, gives you the most value for your money, and you're not even aware of it. I'm betting. What's in the box? I got the Grand Power, made in Slovakia, the Grand Power Q1s. This is a compact slash subcompact. It's kind of in between subcompact pistol. Comes with three 12-round magazines. Empty gun. Three 12-round magazines. I was so happy to find that out. I've been lusting for any type of Grand Power for about 3 years since I found out about the existence of this company. Right there, proudly made in Slovakia, where the craftsmanship is very well. In Slovakia and their neighbor Slovenia, I think the craftsmanship, both of their, from the firearms company and leather making holsters, etc., are very, very good. What's this? What's this? A rotating barrel that, yes, I absolutely do believe reduces recoil between 25 and 30% based on your ammo. Now that I've seen their two-shot pursed K102 pistol and their full auto K105 with less recoil than a Beretta 93R or Glock 18. So now I fully believe in the recoil reduction. Plus, I have done some preliminary testing, which is maybe my new format, doing some preliminary testing before I do my unboxings. Let me know if you like that. Grand Power, you probably didn't know about it. So when I finally found one, I had to get it, especially I got a steal on it. This is the Q1s subcompact striker fired pistol. Not only did it come with three 12-round magazines, but it comes with two additional front sight heights. Two additional to change your point of impact. How many companies do that? I just love seeing that barrel rotate. It really does do recoil reduction. Comes with a very nice cleaning rod as well, and a very nice manual. And they, at the time, it's already sold. They had a Q100, the full-size version of this striker-fired pistol, and the 15-round magazine fits just fine. In fact, that's how I'm going to carry this when I start carrying it after more testing. And when I put a front Meprolet night sight, some CZ75 front sights, push pin style, will work. So I probably will order a Meprolet front night sight that you can order separately for like 35 bucks, 35 bucks, I think. So that is what I will be doing there, and carrying it with the 15-round mag and a 12-round backup, or vice versa, to get me through my daily protection needs. Very nice manual here. They're most known, they started for their double action competition guns. So the recoil reduction really helps in competition. You might want to freeze frame it there to get some of the weights without magazine. The magazine's about 2 ounces probably. So the weights are all over on the internet, but you might want to freeze frame right there on their double action, DASA and Firearms. The Q1, Q1s, Q100 are not there. But basically, this is the later striker-fired version of their double action pistols. Now, if you're looking for the double action pistols, guys, make sure it has D in it if you want a decocker and not have to manually lower the hammer, which is a little more dangerous if it's not a competition gun. Their Excalibur doesn't have that. That's a bad-ass competition pistol. But anyway, guys, on to this Q1s. So, best pistol, best made pistol with the lightest recoil and the best trigger you weren't aware of. Newer model, this is a newer model, has more of a flat style trigger with the dingus. Empty, dingus, take up, okay. Dingus, very light take up, and then it breaks. It does break a little more forward than a lot of pistols, but for me, the reach is perfect. Boom. Super light trigger. In fact, I find it to be better than some PPQ triggers. That's saying a lot. For a striker-fired trigger, it is a pre-cock trigger. Be safe. Pre-cock trigger like a PPQ or a Canik Janik. So it's pre-cocked. Very, very light. Still good enough for carry if you're safe, and very safe on reholstering. But it's spring assist forward, just like on a PPQ. We're going to compare it to the PPQ SC in a while. When I originally started concealed carrying, I really enjoy the compact / subcompact, really the subcompact size, like the 12+1 guns that are out there. Just kind of gives you enough to do what you need to do, a little more than the micro compacts that are pretty good too, but better shootability, longer sight radius, heavier for recoil absorption. This, or maybe the P1, P11, this in a decocker version might be very good options for females and lighter statured people because of the recoil reduction. Grand powers are pretty much fully ambidextrous, where the same button goes through either side for the mag release, and you have slide stop, slide release levers. Let me find the empty magazine, orange follower here. And oh, it's pretty stiff because it's breaking in. There is the slide release. I'll eject the mag from the left side. There we go. Good, strong ejection. Very high quality made pistol. There's the stop, slide release, and boom, there's our beautiful trigger, and it pushes forward just like on a PPQ for fast rapid fire. Now I have taken it through about 4 different drills at an action shoot. I might mix footage in or just put that in the full review when I get more rounds through it. When I get more rounds through it, prove the reliability, put on a front night sight. I've already got holsters that work. It is hard to find holsters, but unbelievably, my good friends at Crossbreed Holsters, look at this beautiful one they sent me. And yes, Crossbreed sent it to me. But this is so beautiful, this special edition leather. I really love that. They make it. Now, I think it's for an actually different grand power, but I knew the mold is similar enough that it would fit the Q1s, it will fit the Q100, it will fit the hammer-fired pistols, the P1, P100, P11. I don't know if P100 is a thing. Anyway, I knew that it would fit, and it does fit good, and it is beautiful, and eventually this will mold to my body and be extremely comfortable for me at the 3:30 to 4 o'clock position. In fact, if I have to wear a suit coat for executive protection jobs, or sometimes when I do security for weddings, if I have to wear a suit coat for particular ones instead of carrying appendix, I will probably carry with this. Crossbreed is a very good option if you need comfort carry, guys. If you need comfort carry at work, Crossbreed's very good. Now, my personal law release here, if it's a precock striker like a PPQ or a Q1s, Grand Power striker fired, precock triggers, not stack and a half triggers like a Glock, in my opinion, but precocked, fully precocked for the nice lighter trigger pull. Be very careful, very, very careful, very, very careful on reholstering, especially with a leather-backed, like a Crossbreed holster, not a full Kydex. Especially be very, very, very careful reholstering precocked triggers, guys, especially if it's behind the hip carry. Now, legal disclaimer, I don't recommend it, neither does Tolster, but my good friends at Tolster sent me the new Q100, or the new Contour holster. I have a full review on this and all the Tolster holsters, various reviews. It fits very good in this SIG P320 250 holster. So, also online, a lot of people says it fits very good in M&P holsters. Thought it would fit good in PPQ holsters, but I'm finding better success with the 320 holsters, and this I used, and it fits in there good enough. I feel comfortable with that, but I am not legally recommending that to you. And for appendix carry in the SIG 320 Oath holster here by Tolster, very good holster, DLC clip. To me, that is good enough, and good enough on reholstering, not to fish and point it on you. So I would, but I am not recommending that to you. Try to find Grand Power holsters to fit like the Crossbreed is my recommendation to you. Legal disclaimer. Okay, the fact that it works with a 15-round mag looks pretty awesome. I don't mind that. You just have to worry about using these on reload, super slamming it in. On a carry gun, you're probably going to be okay, but for competition, you don't want to slam in. Only Glock mags are designed to be okay with that. A longer magazine, but you might hurt the extractor. But that's after like thousands of repetitions, guys, slamming it in like you would in competition. So that rotating barrel is very good on the recoil reduction, guys. Something like you would find on a Beretta PX4. Now this has certain lugs that I don't believe the Beretta does. It makes it even more accurate of a barrel system, let's put it that way, a recoil system and the RSA. So let's look at the other side, guys. Got nice etching, very good quality control, very good machining, guys. The only thing I don't like about this pistol is the sights are good, not great. That's why I want to change out that front. Changing out the rears, that's a much more difficult thing to find something that fits it. No one really knows at this point. So it is a little slick up here. Good texturing, very good in the front. Decent on the sides, decent on the back. Very good in the front. I wish this ledge of the mold, I hope they update these pistols and really push them in America, where they're imported by Global Ordnance in Florida, by the way, Global Ordnance. I've talked to them. I thought they were going to start, kind of working with me. I haven't heard back from them in a while. And if you find a double action, remember, guys, you're probably looking for a D model, unless it's Excalibur. You probably want that decockability on the newer models. Originally, there was like one models that were very, very hard to disassemble and reassemble. This is kind of a more modern, the striker ones. This is more like an MK12 version on the double action pistols. It is still a little bit of a pain to disassemble, not bad once you learn how, the way it comes off and on, but reassembly is still difficult. You're going to want to push it on your belly to do that. I haven't even cleaned this yet. Until I do it a few times, it's a bit of a problem. Once you do it, it is not that bad, especially once you learn how to isolate it. Make sure it's empty multiple times on your kind of belly, breastbone, like Mr. Guns and Gear, I believe, was the one who showed that. So it can be done. Newer shooters may not like the reassembly of this pistol, but your wife, girlfriend, whatever, if she's into it and trying to find something 9mm caliber, not a sub-caliber, with better stopping power, 3.66-inch barrel, by the way. If you look at my ammo selection video, 9mm from 3.5 or longer do pretty good with most hollow points. Below 3.5-inch barrels, you got to be very, very selective, i.e. HST or punch from Federal, in my opinion. Harder to find. So look at my ammo selection video, but 3.66 inches, that's better than the 3.5s. Let's compare the size to other things. It's kind of a little high for a 12 round, which is pretty similar to a Glock 19. Go to Handgun Hero, if I don't put in the footage, a Handgun Hero compared to different firearms. But for purposes, let's put the empty mag in and re-verify for you safety people out there. Let's compare it to a very popular pistol, the Taurus, G3C, also a very good budget option. Now this is a $400 to $500 pistol usually. Quality-wise, this is definitely a $550 with metal sights and a much better trigger, even better perhaps than a PPQ, comparable to Glock. I would have no problems with someone paying $550, $575 for this pistol. It usually goes for it at $400 to $500. I got it for a $330 steal of the century on clearance because they only had a couple and probably didn't even want to update Grand Power on their website for quite a while from a chain of big stores. So both have pinky extenders. Let's look at the G3C. Just kind of a quick look-see, guys. It's hard to film this without repositioning the camera. It's just a little bit taller than the G3C. It looks like maybe the same, just slightly taller. Better for bigger-handed people, but 3.66 inches, better ballistics than the 3.2-inch barrel on the Taurus G3C. I have 4 reviews of the Taurus G3C. I think it's a great budget option, but if you can find a Grand Power, guys, I think you might want to look into them. I do find it a little slick here. It wasn't a problem when pulling from 3 o'clock holsters or 330, but when I pull from appendix, I find this a little slick. I wish there was more texturing on the sides. I like a lot of texturing, just like people that really shoot, like Honest Outlaw. The shelf should be higher in my opinion because it slips down, and if you're using a proper high, very high, thumbs forward grip, it's also a little slippy. Here's the takedown for an accelerator pad. I'm not sure if I'm just going to put that there or maybe even put a little bit of grip tape on the takedown. It will look a little ugly, but that should be kind of updated somewhere with an accelerator cut as well. I do talk to, message the founder and CEO of Grand Power in Slovakia. Seems like a good dude. Grand Power guys, if you're like, I had never heard of them, I want to get it. I should have said this earlier. The stribog, the very popular stribog, empty firearm, PPQSC, which doesn't have quite as good as a trigger as the full-size PPQs, at least on this example. This is a 10+1 or a 15+1 gun, 3.5-inch barrel compared to the Q1s's 3.66. It's only slightly less as high with the pinky extender anyway, and not enough without it. It's barely able to get, I only get just over half of my pinky, and anything less than half flies off. So I do shoot it quite a bit better with a 15-round magazine in. But this is kind of a better overall size. It's actually a better trigger. I love Walthers, I love PPQs, but it's actually a bit of a better trigger, I think, than the PPQ-SC, and on par with the full-size trigger. So on the Q1s, there's my dingus, very little take up to a nice defined wall. Beautiful break and almost flat trigger, and a spring-assisted forward to fast multiple shots, especially with that recoil reduction. PPQ-SC is a lighter pistol and more flippy to a lot of people. There's my take-up, a little bit longer take-up. Okay, that actually surprises me. The curved trigger, let me verify again. Curved trigger, just because I have multiple pistols out. There's a break. There's the reset. It doesn't sound as good as the regular PPQs as well on the SC. They did some lightening up, and maybe they did something to the trigger. It is an internal extractor versus external. I do believe I have a unboxing of this. I kind of need a showdown maybe between these two. Let me know if that would interest you. Walther versus Grand Power video. I may do that in the future. And, oh, we didn't do the weights yet. So the weight is all over the place. I know this is becoming long. With an empty magazine, that's what really matters, guys, not weights without magazines like a lot of European companies tend to do. Can't really do a lot without the magazine other than fire one round. We got 1 pound, 10.5 ounces, so that is 26.5 ounces versus like, I think 21.5 on this, 22, something like that, or 20.8, 21.8, I think. So this is 26.5, so a little bit heavier than a Glock 19. About the same size, really about the same size, maybe a little bit taller with the 15 rounds, so 15+1 as I'll carry it. Let's go ahead and put just 12. Let me put 12 and a Barney up, loaded weight. 12 plus 1 is 1 pound, 15.2 ounces. So you're just under 32 ounces, which would be 31.2 ounces. That's pretty good light carry. 12+1 will get you through absolutely most situations. That is where my comfort level is carrying minimum 10+1 a 9mm, but I much prefer 12+1, as I've said in the past. Let's do 15+1 and a Barney for those that might want to mimic me. 2 pounds, 1.4 ounces, so 33.4 ounces. That's still very light for a almost compact size, you know, good shootability weapon, and it's going to have less recoil because that rotating barrel than a Glock 19. Okay, I'm sure of it. And it's higher weight. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe, get in the comments. Do you want to check out Grand Power now? Do you like these holsters? What do you carry? Let me know. Get some discussion going.